This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets!
What's up, Jones?
What's up, Petey?
You off today?
Yeah, man, we're out till like December 10th.
Wow. What'd you think of yesterday? Brutal, huh?
Yeah, that was disgusting, man. Another bad loss. Did you go?
Yep. It took me like 7 hours to defrost. Good morning, office.
Hey,
What's good, Petey?
our fan base is brutal, man. I'm seeing people on the timeline talk about JSN is better than Will McDonald. We should have took him. Like, come on, man.
Everybody's going to second guess, man. I just can't wait until this year's over, man. It's brutal.
They put you all through hell, Petey. They really have, dude. And the players ain't making it look no better right now either.
Yep. It's dreadful, man. So we'll wait for more people to come in, hopefully, to see what they have to say.
You mean you don't want to go outside and hang out in this beautiful 13-degree balmy weather?
Nah, I'm good. I even bought office. I have a heated jacket, man. That worked though. It was good.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, you definitely do something like that. I mean, even down here at our game the other day, boy, once that sun went down, it was freezing down here.
Hey, office, are y'all going to commit to the run in the playoffs?
We're just committed to W's, my brother. However we get there is how we get there. I,
But you know what? You've seen what happened last year, man.
I did, yes, sir, I did, and I hope we don't go that route. To be honest with you, I think I know people want to. I know I know our fans want to kind of see us run the ball for sure quite a bit more, but I think so, I think we will. I think I'm not saying we were cautious with Derrick Henry, but I think we've given him the right type of workload, if that makes sense, kind of leading into the playoffs. He looks good. He's getting better. I think it'll be a little different this year, to be honest with you. I'm hoping so, at least. I mean, you can see a lot of the teams are having the teams that are playing well are running the ball really good right now. So, yeah, man, I'm hoping we do, brother. I really do. I'm optimistic.
I don't see how people can stop Henry in the playoffs.
Coaches do, man. They take the ball.
Exactly. I mean, you could tell, dude. Not, I'm not saying nobody, but it gets tough to have to want to tackle him later in the game. I mean, you can tell a lot of teams are struggling to tackle him. But you're right. The coach is the one that if we need him to want to run the ball. I think Monkey will though. He to me he's getting better as an NFL offensive guy, right? Like that step from college back to the NFL is tricky. And he ain't never coached nobody like Lamar.
They would be dangerous if you have a lead in the fourth quarter. Just keep giving it to Henry. It's going to be hard to stop.
And Lamar.
Well, and you got to remember too, right? The Ravens, where we also try, it's kind of similar almost, but like, um, we can kind of use our tight ends a little bit. But I think Justice Hill went out with a concussion. Like the dude, he went. So we're a little thin at running back. I know it sounds crazy, but we're thin because it's just part of our scheme. You know what I mean? But I'm with you, Terrence. I think it was yes. Was it Terrence?
Yeah, somebody else said Lamar, but yeah, but basically, maybe he's the missing ingredient. And also, Bateman is back, so at least you may have a little bit of a passing game too.
Oh yeah. Well, and then they've been trying to incorporate and I guess just kind of get them some time on the field. But Devontae Walker, they've been kind of getting him in the game too. Now he's not the greatest kind of he's not necessarily a Swiss Army route runner, but if he gets behind the defense and we can get the ball to be accurate, he'll be gone. We got some options. We're honestly, I'm just glad we're looking better on defense, to be honest with you, because we were 32nd. We're way down now. Like I don't think people are misconstruing, but if you look at a lot of our defensive numbers, they've improved dramatically because what we did was we took we kind of had to drop safeties back. And what's happening is Marlon Humphreys is more taking over a lot of the role that you saw Kyle Hamilton play with last year, so that he can kind of be unilateral, move around a little bit, and protect the back end because you guys seen it too. I mean, we were getting torched. I mean, torched.
Yeah, but it was for the office. It was the Steelers. I mean, it's a division game. That was a big win, man.
Oh, yeah. For this past weekend too, of course, Petey. I just was kind of meant to overall, but yeah. I mean, we owed them quite a few. That was Lamar's first home game versus the Steelers. You know that? Like he he didn't even play for probably half of those 8 games that we lost. And I'm not making excuses. It just we had COVID. That was the first time he actually played Pittsburgh in Baltimore in front of our fans because he was
Jones,
hurt
go
though.
ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I was just gonna say Yesterday, a report came out saying that Jets job is more attractive than what this app portrays it to be. Like, it's just not an attractive job. Once Rodgers is out of here, man, this a GM can have at 2025. They're going to have a lot of money. They're going to have a lot of space. They can do almost anything they need to get this team on the right track. You know, just like the Broncos situation. As soon as they got Russ out of there, they got Sean Payton's going to have a lot of room to maneuver in and create a talented roster. So,
Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing all right. Happy holidays.
What's up, CB? Same to
what's
you, man.
up, CB?
Hey, Jones, to your point, I just want to correct one thing. You're not going to have a lot
Yeah, he
of money
means
in 2025. You're
2026,
going to have
Yeah,
a decent
26.
amount.
My bad. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say in 25, you have a decent amount. But Sean Payton, the reason they're successful right now is because he's coached and he's also found late round gems. Like you find a Troy Franklin who you brought in who has chemistry with Bo Nix.
Yep,
You got to find a Riley Moss who could be CB2 until he got hurt. Like they are coaching up and developing young guys. That's where the Jets have failed.
yep. I agree. They got that defensive tackle and edge they drafted. Added JFM.
Yeah, Jonathan Cooper and Nick Benito, they got those guys playing well off the edge, man. Like they're really. This is why I'm saying like them like Sean Payton and Vance Joseph put on a master class of coaching this season.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, that's what the problem is, bro. Like whoever the right coach is, and if they right the ship, like man, like with average coaching, this team would have still had probably 6 or 7 wins right now. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Do you
we
think,
wouldn't be
Jones?
going
Do you
on it
think?
on fourth
Sorry,
down on our own 34-yard line.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, Terrence, to that point, I mean, I'm sorry, but Ulbrich is a dreadful head coach, man. He's brutal. His decision making's awful. I know you're 4-10, but come on.
I didn't know you can be worse than Salah. I really didn't.
He is. He is. That's not saying much, but Salah was bad, but Ulbricht's worse. And he's a nice guy. It's a shame.
And
it kind of makes you wonder if Salah had been kept, if they would have at least been more the Mendoza line. If
who knows? But I will say I agree to CB. A while ago he said, Ty Monken is calling the right plays, just not getting Wilson involved. That's facts, man. I don't know how much is him not getting Wilson involved, or and Rodgers just blatantly missing him over the middle and not throwing it.
Yeah, Jones, he was open yesterday. I saw it. I mean,
And
people saw it on TV too, but
I think
he
he
was
was.
definitely open.
I think he was fixated on Adams getting his 500th touchdown.
that's corny, man. Like this is the stuff that makes us lose, bro. Like,
Petey,
and
how you go 9 minutes in the second half, open second half with nothing? 9 minute drive. 9 minute drive. And he goes for the fade to Devontae. He had Conklin and Wilson wide open in the middle. Just get the first down.
Yep,
Get the first down and continue that drive. They practically had the ball the whole third quarter.
yep. They had a 99-yard drive too.
that's an unfortunate disconnect, Rogers and Wilson. That's crazy. Like I know last year that's how. Now obviously it's a little different, but like I know that it took Bateman a while to get get Lamar to acknowledge him, and this year he has. And I think it was Jones mentioning, he's playing a lot better, but that's crazy that they're not. That's crazy. Yeah, I can't. That's a big problem, dude. That guy's awesome. He can be awesome, man. Wilson or Garrett. Christ, I'm getting them all confused now.
it is, man, and it's the fact that people come on this app and say, he's this easily replaceable. and all this other stuff. But Rogers is blatantly not throwing him the ball, man. Like that fourth down call when he ran the drag, he was like 2 yards from the line. Bro, just get the ball in his hands and let him make a play. Like I'm watching Puka Nakua catch passes behind the line of scrimmage multiple times and then create yak. Like I'm sorry, Puka Nakua is not that much better than Wilson, man. He might be better, but I did I'm not that sold on that, man. He can't be that much better where people are like, oh, 10 out of 10, give me Puka.
I think the difference is too, like you're saying, right? See, and y'all know this, man. As a receiver, obviously you don't want to get them killed, but I think even those guys got to get hit and tackled a little bit, even if it's not the ideal thing, right? Like football's a game where you could go, like the man said, you could go 9 minutes, have a great drive, not score. You could go long periods of time without getting the ball. And see, that's probably what's not helping either, right? Like if like sometimes you just got to get hit a little bit and like you kind of like switch gears and they're not even allowing Garrett Wilson to do that. Like let him get hit a little bit, right? Like get a little pissy, get a little aggressive.
Yep. Meanwhile,
But if you're not,
are dropping
But he
balls.
but he looks for Lazard,
Exactly. That
you
that's
know, and
right.
the rookie can't even get it playing time.
like, and don't even get me started on the last play of the game, man. This what? How is Gibson still on the roster right now?
Yep, 100% right.
I thought about that too with the Bills game. I saw Brandon, whatever, however you say his last name, and I'm like, I can't believe. And I like Gibson. I thought he would be something with Rodgers. Boy, was I wrong about Gibson. I thought Rodgers would elevate all these guys.
I do think there's a problem with Wilson and Rogers. I got to agree with you guys on that one, and it's going to add to him wanting to leave.
There are three players on this team that, under no circumstances, can be on the roster next year: Xavier Gibson, Alan Lazard, and Jeremy Ruckert. They
Don't
don't
forget
even need to
Davis,
be. Who's that? Isaiah
the
Davis?
safety. No, the
Oh,
safety.
oh yeah, yeah. But I don't care if they're on NFL rosters, but they can't be on the Jets roster. I can't. It can't happen.
We don't have a tight end. We need two tight ends. We need two safeties. We need a linebacker. We need a defensive tackle.
Yep.
And we don't have a lot of money to play with.
Guys, I'm at the gym and I want to be Mr. Brightside right now.
Oh
So
boy.
the Bills and the Patriots did us a solid yesterday. So I think Gerard Mayo has done enough to keep his job in New England. And I think if that's the case, Vrabel's coming to the Jets. Vrabel's from Ohio State. He knows who Garrett Wilson is. We can talk about the Adams Rogers thing. My idealist of hopes is we trade him somehow to San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan gives it one more shot. We get rid of the both of them. I know that that's too idealistic, but we need a little piece of hope. And my little piece of hope is I think Gerard did enough to keep his job. And I think the Bills helped us out by not having the greatest game yesterday.
Yeah, that's good. But the thing that we're worried about is that Brady and Vrabel's relationship with the Raiders. I think that's the place that everybody thinks Vrabel is going. But I don't think he'll come here just because Garrett Wilson went to the same school that he did.
I wasn't saying he's coming just because of Wilson. I'm wondering if Vrabel comes because it's the best situation. So there's a lot of interest, just like all the reports that was mentioned before about the Jets. I look at the Garrett Wilson as a benefit, not as the reason he's going to come. I also, if history repeats itself, whether it's Leon Hess or Woody Johnson, they've got to make a hire for PR purposes. So, like we keep mentioning Sean Payton, the NFL is a copycat league. You got to bring someone in there. You got to take the PR off of you. If anything, this athletic report confirmed what we thought was true. And so I think you got to go after the best available coach because a yes man's not going to do it.
Not to mention, look around the league. All this year, it's a lot of second-year Tom head coaches. Sean Payton, obviously, he was good. Dan Quinn. Wasn't Raheem Morris a head coach before? Somewhere.
Yeah, Tampa.
Yep.
Tampa.
What's the name? He's been good the past few years. Todd Bowles. Like these second-year head coaches that were abysmal their first time around, they're actually looking good and leading it the right way.
I mean, you definitely need the chips to fall a little bit lucky too, right? Like you were saying earlier with Sean Payton. I mean, he might even have flipped a coin on a couple of them guys and been like, "Let's see what happens," right? Like experience and luck is a large part of NFL team success too, man. I mean, I really hope you guys get the right coach this time. I do, man. I think it's time to see Jets football, contend for something. Contend for something. I'm excited for y'all. I think it's going to work out. It's just going to be painful.
Well, we are in the top 10 for the worst team in the league. We're at number 7 in the draft order. God, do we stink.
Lucky
Yeah.
number 7. Let it hit. Let lucky number 7.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, our strength of schedule is a lot better than all the other teams that we're either tied with or have one less win than us. So even like I think what Jacksonville and the Titans play each other next week. So one of them is going to win. But even so, our strength of schedule is better than is higher than theirs. So they still win the tiebreaker, regardless of what we did against them in the regular season. It's the strength of schedule that determines the draft position.
Because you guys really haven't played any. I mean, what's the worst team y'all played? You guys played a lot of good teams.
Well,
You're right.
Jacksonville and Tennessee. Yeah, well, we played the Bills. Uh, you know, uh, we played the Bills. Who did we play in the
We
AFC? Oh,
played
the
the
South. So
NFC,
it
the
wasn't really that
NFC
good.
West.
Yeah,
And
we
the
went we
San
AFC.
went 0 and
Fran.
4. 0 and 4 in that division.
Yeah,
San Fran, but they had all their starters then, beginning of the season.
agreed.
Well, yeah, and they were ready
Well,
for the playoffs in week whatever they played you, right? They look
Yeah.
more looked like a playoff ready team. Like, remember I said that early in the season? I'm like, most teams are week 1. They're like already looking like week 16 kind of.
Jets played the
But
Broncos, the Vikings,
right.
Yep.
Well,
and these
imagine being the
the
Bears.
Steelers.
They got 3 teams with double-digit wins that they played. That they're gonna play 6 times. That's why they have a stronger strength of schedule than we do, and that's why we're ahead of them, even though we have the same record.
Well, yeah, Terrence, how many of those games too were the Jets ahead? A bunch, right? Like you guys were ahead
Yeah,
in a good
we lost
amount
a
of
lot of
quarters.
games in the fourth quarter, Office, and that's where a lot of people feel that if it was the right coach, or if the right coach, like let's just say half of them went our way or something, it'd be a different story. But you know, that's why I don't care if I want Rodgers gone because of the salary cap implications. But if you get somebody like Vrabel, I think regardless of who the quarterback is and regardless of where our team is, I think he'll have them play tough, and we'll win our share of games. It may not be 500 next year or 9-8 and 8-9, but we'll be tough and competitive, and I think that'll be enough to keep a lot of the fans interested and know that the future might be bright if we got the right coach and the team is playing hard for him.
Yeah,
And you know what? I'm
I
sorry. Go
to
ahead.
I totally agree with all of that. So I'm friends with a pastor named Derwin Gray who played for the Colts, and he was talking up Josh McCown. Now I'm going crazy here, so don't just stay with me in the hypothetical. But if Josh McCown's available and Vrabel's not, I think he's a great candidate. We've done the whole Ben Johnson kind of thing. The one kind of last thing before I got to get running, but is for the Jets fans with the first quarter that were like, we got to bring Rodgers and Adams back. Like, we have to do better as a fan base. I want Aaron Rodgers to like ball out next week against the Buffalo Bills so he gets traded. Now, if somebody like Vrabel comes in and says, hey, I can get the most out of him with a discount, I'm going to trust the football people. But the bottom line with next year is let's have a great last game. Let's do what we can to, do what the Broncos did and put us in a great situation. And, whoever, whether it's a defensive or offensive coach, let's do what we didn't do for Geno Smith and Sam Darnold. Let's get some great offensive minds in there. Let's get a great quarterback coach. And I'll also say, Wilson, we have the pieces in place. And by getting rid of Adams and Rodgers, I think we take care of some of the culture stuff with an adult in the room, which we're all saying is that coach.
It's also crazy the Jets' luck. Becton, Vera Tucker, and now Fashanu. Everybody we draft, the one bright spot this year, he goes down, and God knows what's wrong with him now. They're saying it's a foot,
Yeah,
but
thankfully it's not the
how many?
Achilles.
Yeah, how many guys can we draft and get
Yeah, but
hurt?
that's
In
yeah.
the line. I know the NFL's an injury
Yeah,
league, but man, these are major injuries on everybody we draft on the offensive line.
yeah. I
And
don't know if
Mitchell, he stinks.
Peter. I don't know if you know. I think Aaron Rodgers does. I know he probably would approve it, but he does have a full trade, no trade clause. I'm pretty sure he does, or he
Petey,
I
has a
guess
no.
have they
He has a no,
determined?
or he has a no trade.
Petey, have they announced the time for the Dolphin game? They still have it as to be
No,
determined, right?
no.
no, Petey, that's a great point about the no trade clause. I think at some point Aaron Rodgers, I mean, the fact that there's rumors that he wants Mike McCarthy to be the next coach is telling you, he's on his last straw. I do think that these reports I've softened a little bit. I think Rodgers is just super intelligent, but doesn't always do the most emotionally intelligent thing. So if he ends up back here, that's fine. It sounds like he's willing to take a pay cut. I just think the best option for him and for the Jets is the necessary ending. And, again, I might be too idealistic, but I think the 49ers this year, I don't necessarily see them signing Brock Purdy to a ton of money. He's from there. I listened to Ian O'Connor's biography. I think there's something about him heading to the 49ers. Um, Kyle Shanahan's pride. That's all I'm saying. Could be wrong, but I have a feeling he's going to want out at some point.
I don't even know
You know,
what's. I don't even know what to do anymore.
so Petey,
It is
what
so
I like
bad.
what I like
Sorry,
about
officer. So
Vrabel.
sorry.
No worries, brother. I'll be quick. The thing I think that I like about Vrabel the most is, and look back to our game with them in 2019. He can take a good football team and get wins in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, we should have never lost to Tennessee, but dude, he can. The one thing I respect the most about him is he gets those dudes ready to fight more than anything else. Vrabel, like he gets his team ready.
Anyone talking?
Yeah, I don't know who said it, but Olu Fast for Shanu, man, that boy can pass block, man. Seriously, that dude can.
Yeah, you got to figure Olu will miss the rest of the year.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't
I'm
be
just
mad if
glad
they.
it's not an Achilles.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they traded back and took a tackle, or seeing somebody on the timeline say trade back and take the best tight end, the guy from Penn State. Uh, but bro, I wouldn't mind if they did a. It's not necessarily a luxury pick, but to solidify the best piece on this team that's going to help our quarterback and running back, whoever it is. If for the future, if they drafted another tackle or something.
I think they should sign one.
Did Morgan Moses finish the game?
I think yeah, he did. Sauce got hurt.
Yeah, I'll bring Morgan Moses back, man. I'll bring him back.
I
I'm
mean, I'm the only thing, and there's really not a lot to talk about. You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, you good,
the
Now
bro.
we
only
do.
thing, yeah, they didn't. The defense didn't. I mean, they didn't give up really. They got gashed running again, like always. But Nakua and them, what did they really do?
Exactly,
Coop, Cooper Cup didn't do anything.
exactly.
They just, it's the Ulbrich stinks, man. He's awful. We got worse at head coach. We got worse at head coach when we couldn't foresee that.
When did when did Sauce leave? The third quarter?
Either that or the second. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, when he was in, man, he hasn't got targeted the past 2 weeks, man. He really, I, that's what I know. He doesn't get picks and stuff, but bro, he doesn't get targeted, man. Like they don't even look his way. They're out there picking on Brandon Eccles and then the other guy.
Hey, not to change subjects too much, but we know it's an Achilles with Olu. So, PD, I think he said he's gone for the year. But like, do we have it? I know he's in a boot. I mean, obviously, I'm not a doctor with a broken foot. I mean, what's everybody hearing? What's the prognosis?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything. I hope it's not a Liz Frank because the Liz Frank that's a hard one.
That's what Bateman's struggling to fight through, Liz Frank. And honestly, you don't put your left tackle back in if he's hurt with a record like that too either. Like you said, Petey, you don't put him back in. Let him just get healthy, man.
Yeah, IR him for the rest of the year and let him go. See what you got with Warren. We already know what we got with Mitchell. I
Oh
wonder if
yeah.
they wouldn't move Morgan Moses to left tackle. So
Hey, I don't think as long as he's ready for 2025, if it's possible. But no, I mean, shut him down. Shut him down. I'm totally with that. So.
All I'm seeing that it's a foot injury. Maybe they'll do an MRI today or something.
yeah,
It's just, everywhere
so
you see it says foot
supposedly,
injury.
yeah, supposedly Samini said it's not the Achilles. So, which is good.
What about that kicker? Like we got to be in the looking for a kicker too.
I remember towards the end of Jonathan Ogden's career, man, it wasn't even really that crazy, or at least you wouldn't think it is. But dude, his big toe went bad. You know what I mean? Like his big toe was like he couldn't do anything.
Anyone who
Jonathan
went to the
Ogden.
Jet game yesterday is an idiot. That's a joke because Pete and I both went. I guess Pete is in silence. Go ahead, office. Sorry.
Now we're good, brother.
Was Garrett
Yeah,
open,
just
Jason?
What's up?
Was Garrett really like stupid open as the people on
I
TV?
mean, he's a quick guy and he's crafty. Like, he could have thrown him the ball if he wanted to. I wouldn't say it was like blatantly obvious. Pete, you missed it. I said anyone who went to the game yesterday is an idiot.
Oh, I had a call. So, bro, it took me literally at 9. I think I fell asleep at like 9:30. I was still. I had. I was. It was an ice box, man.
Yeah.
I'm still wiped out.
Well, you
Like
saw
that
that
was
heavy
probably
jacket
the.
and hat I was wearing, and I was wearing a hoodie underneath that, and I was still cold. My legs were like, I felt
Yeah,
like they were like a television remote. I could hear them
I
crack every time I took a step.
I had a heated jacket on. It was still bad. That was probably the second coldest game I've been to.
What was
The
the
first
first?
one was well, there might have been another one, but the sun was out. The Jacksonville Jets home playoff game in January of '99.
Oh,
It was 22 degrees, but it was sunny. This one, and then the Cincinnati Jets playing game at the end of the '09 season. It was 8 degrees at kickoff at 8 o'clock at night. It was brutal.
yeah. Oh boy, things we do for the Jets. it's like we're gluttons for punishment.
I'm done, guys. Like, I mean, I could always talk. There's nothing to talk about the game. It's brutal. Just
And
good riddance on.
Rich Samini just
Good.
tweeted that barring something miracle, the Jets are most likely, even if they lose out, they're going to still end up picking eighth.
Well, doesn't Tennessee play somebody again? Jacksonville.
They do, but I don't know. That's what's so frustrating. And as you know, like I'm fine with tanking or whatever, but like they lost the Dolphins game, they got knocked down a spot. Then they lose yesterday, and Carolina wins, and yet Carolina still picks above them. Like it's ridiculous. Like even when the Jets lose, you say, "Oh, at least we get a better draft pick." No, that's not been the case. So um, they do play, but the thing is, I think Tennessee and Jacksonville, they both won 3 games. So even I think because of the strength of schedule, then we'd be tied with them, and then I think they would just like move it down to like 6 or something. The team that I would really be pissed if I was a fan of though is the Raiders, because say what you want about them, but Antonio Pierce is most likely a lame duck coach. He's not going anywhere. The majority of these players are probably going to get replaced, and then they thought that for sure they get either Cam Ward or Shador Sanders, and now they got knocked down all the way to 6th. So that's a tough pill to swallow, but I don't know. I know, Pete, you say you have a hard time rooting against the Jets to lose and whatnot, but my thing is if you know you're not going to make the playoffs, right? I rather go into it. Having a higher draft pick makes it a more attractive job to a potential head coach, a potential general manager. You could use that, even if there's not a player you're in love with, you could always use that pick as ammunition to trade down and have, more picks into the future. Who knows? Maybe next year you can get a second first round pick. So I'm of the belief, like, yeah, and listen, players don't tank. I think that's a very foolish and ignorant statement to say, and it's just not the reality when these guys are playing for their jobs. But at the same time, like as you saw last year in New England, the last week of the season, right? You're completely out of it. It's terrible. All we heard about all year was, oh, Izzy, when are we going to let Izzy free? Izzy. And then they ran Brees Hall into the ground. Why? So we could stick it to Bill Belichick? Yeah, I'm sure Bill Belichick is, crying in his sleep after his 6th Super Bowl wins. So, and again, listen, I think Fashanu's a great player, but you could have been in a position to draft either Joe Walt or Malik Neighbors or even Marvin Harrison Jr. So I don't know. I just, the season has been an utter disappointment, and there's nothing left to discuss, Carmine.
PD, good morning.
There's no eating. Okay, JB, how are you?
Good, buddy. You still going to run it back with Rodgers after yesterday?
I have no idea, man. I don't know what they want to do. I have no idea who the quarterback will be. Here's an answer I will give you. I am still going to be a Jet fan, so
Oh, yeah.
what could we do? If they
But the,
bring back Rodgers, okay. If they don't, okay. I just
problem,
don't want to go 3-14 again.
no. The problem we got, though, is this coaching staff. They're all gone. They're not going to play Corley. They're not going to play anybody we want to see for the future. They're idiots. Albert can't manage a clock. It's pitiful, man.
Yeah, Ulbrich is brutal. I'll tell you who has checked out for sure. It's Reddick.
Oh,
He
yeah.
don't want to
He's
be
just
here.
going through the motions, man. He don't.
Yep.
He's out of there. I just it's
It's just a shame. Like we used to be able to talk about the game for 6 hours. There's just nothing.
just some of our core
It's
players are starting
awful.
to get pissed off now. Is what I don't like. Just hopefully we beat the Dolphins. I can't stand the Dolphins, and I got to listen to my brother every year. He texted me last night. He said how they got to win 2 games to get in. Denver loses. Denver's going to lose, and they're going to beat Tua to get in. I was like, yeah, okay. But
So the Dolphins can still they need Denver to lose both and then they
Dolphins
win
got to
both
win
and they
out.
win.
They need Dolphins. Denver's or the Dolphins got to win out. Denver's got
Hmm.
to lose, I think, 2, and Cincinnati's got to lose 1, and they can still get in.
Wow. So they may put that game on Saturday. Jets Dolphins.
Oh, they probably will because Cleveland, Miami will beat Cleveland definitely. So it'll come down to them playing us and needing help.
And I mean, honestly, dude, Miami's straight living on a prayer, bro. They're not good. You know what I mean? Like, they're not even good.
They're living
Like,
off their offense. A Chain had a big game. The passing attack. Tyreek Hill's not playing worth it. He's playing terrible.
well, and they're playing teams that aren't very good either, to be honest with you, dude. I mean, look at last week. Their fans were ready to just absolutely crush their organization like a can. You know what I mean? Like, they're ready to recycle their people too, dude, to just throw them out in the trash.
You know,
That
it
place
reminds me
is
the
dysfunctional.
this last Dolphins game reminds me of the old days of Ken O'Brien spoiling Dan Marino's season, trying to knock him out of the playoffs. That's what it reminds you of.
Yeah, because really, what have they ever done? You know what I mean? Like Miami's nothing. I mean, look at last year. They beat the brakes off somebody. Then they came to Baltimore, or we went there and beat them by like 50, put up a 50 burger, and they were crying like we did them wrong. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you guys are soft, soft, real soft. Like we would beat the shit out of them right now. We would crush them. My Ravens squad would beat the brakes off of them.
Anybody else thinking we're going to have to get a coach before we get a GM? I'm starting to think we're going to have to get the coach to help with the
Yeah, but they
GM.
can't interview any of these guys until the season's over, unless who's a free. There's no free agent coach, that's out there really.
Well, you only got 2 more weeks. You can get Vrabel interviewed.
Correct. Correct. Good
But I think
point.
to get Vrabel, you might have to get him first and then help him hire the GM.
See, I think going to Albrecht was the tank move because I kind of agree with a few of y'all. Like where I think players will check out, of course, but it's hard to get them to want to do that. I think putting Albrecht in there, like you said, Petey, you seen it get worse, and they knew that because, dude, even if he had got the head coaching job at the beginning of the season, it might have still been similar with him. You know what I mean? Like it might even been worse. You don't even know. But I think that was the tank move, to be honest with you. It's just opinion, of course.
Checked out I and Petey yesterday. I usually watch every game all till the end. I left after Rogers fumbled. I turned it off and left. That's how checked out I am.
I will say this though, you guys definitely have the best green uniforms in the NFL though. Them uniforms are sharp.
Who cares? No offense, office.
Nah, it's all good, brother. It's all good, my man. I think if you guys I think if you can get a tight end or two, that will really help the offense. That tight end you got, he just hadn't done much, has he?
No, we
What's his
need to
name?
we need to get a tight end, a right tackle on offense. We need to beef the defensive line up, and we need all new safeties first. Our defense can't stop a nosebleed's a problem.
Yeah, definitely giving up big chunk plays at the wrong time for sure, right? Just not getting that stand when you need it.
I'd
Yeah,
say
I don't think the defense even played bad. If you think about it, you know, the Jets turned it over in their own end zone. I mean, own end zone. They went for what at their own 34, correct?
the
Then the
secondary
Rams scored,
the
and
secondary
then they
played
had
good, but
yeah,
the run game we can't stop the run.
no,
And them guys, McGregor, Taylor's the best of the undrafted. McGregor did make an impact. That Watts guy is terrible. I don't know how we paid him the most money of any undrafted free agent. That's terrible. He hasn't made a play all year. I mean, JD banked on all these undrafted free agents. Gibson's terrible. He had one punt return in his career, and we still play him. It's terrible.
Yep.
I do notice. You notice they're running Isaiah Davis more than Allen now.
The coaching staff is brutal, guys.
Oh yeah, Downing's the best of them, and he's average at best.
What's he, the offensive guy? Downing?
Yeah, he's the OC.
Yeah.
Now, has he been the OC all year, or was that a replacement? I'm just trying to
He
collect
was
the.
the run. I think he was the run game coordinator. If I'm not. I don't. I'm not positive. No, Keith Carter is. I'm not sure what he was, but they demoted Hackett and put him in.
What
And he's
fresh?
still in the building, Petey?
What'd you say?
Is Hackett still in the building?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think one big thing that caused us yesterday, Rogers been looking at Adams way too much. If somebody just put a stat up there in the last 9 games that Devontae has like 94 targets and Garrett only has 73. So he's definitely looking at Adams, and teams know it.
Now, JB, is that
Yep.
93 targets with just the Jets or for the season?
That 94
Just
targets
that.
they said was Devontae Adams the last since he's been with us, and Garrett only has like it's 94 to 73 is the split right now since Devontae come over to the Jets.
And how many games y'all had him now? 4 or 5? Because he'd been there, what, like 4 or 5 weeks?
No, since week 7.
Yeah,
I
he's been
believe we
there
were 2-5. Week 8.
9 games.
Damn, and he's got almost 20 targets more than a guy that was there for 6 or more games ahead of that. Whew.
No. In the 9 game span that he's been there, he has 94 targets, and they said Garrett has 73.
Oh, okay, I
Adams is
got you.
still basically a top 10 receiver. He is.
Very true, Pete. He's very good.
He's still good, man.
Yeah, he is good, but Rogers is staring. He don't throw
Right.
to
They should
everybody.
be
That's what I'm
they
saying.
should be giving the ball to Garrett Wilson
He's
more.
yeah, he's not spreading it. They should be going deep at least once a quarter with Garrett. That's one of the things we don't do either. We don't throw the ball deep.
And he took a shot at Mike Williams when Williams ran the wrong route, but Lazard keeps dropping balls. Not a peep out of Rodgers.
Yeah, they took a shot though to Adams. He missed them. He could have. I thought Adams might have not could have laid out, but it was a little bit further. And by the way, if anybody noticed, the two sides, the extra points were missed. It's the same side that I've been talking about. That side of the field is always trouble. It's crazy how many missed extra points and field goals are that way. It's crazy, but it's irrelevant at this point.
And Lazard has to be one of the worst free agent wide receiver signings we have had. Also for the money and what we've got out of him.
Yep. Hey, Mike, you came up. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
I'm Mike. I'm
I know.
beaten.
I feel
I'm
I
beaten.
can
You could
you
hear it
sound
in
beat
me.
up, my man. I know. I feel bad for you. I know you. I give you credit. I mean, I've been a fan since 68, 69. I used to go to Shady when it was 10 degrees. But I know what you're going through, my man. I feel for you, pal. For you to sit there, God bless you. And I'm not, I'm a diehard. I'll watch them till week 17. I'm not saying this, but I give you a lot of credit, pal, going out in that weather. But anyway, yeah, we just got to wait till the year's over, get rid of these. To me, the biggest thing is getting rid of, and I know sometimes it doesn't sound great, but get rid of these shit coaches. They are sickening. I mean, what was he thinking yesterday on them plays, like fourth down in our own territory? I mean, yeah, I know we're not playing for nothing, but still, I mean, come on. I mean, we look such like a minor league organization. I mean, I watch Pop Warner League in my town where I live, and I see better coaches. Like it's just sad. I mean, and also, the players have to be, held, accountable too. We all know that, but and the man, I don't know if it was JB, was just saying about some of these undrafted free. He is so right. That Watts 58. What the hell is he doing out there? I mean, we make fun of Michael Clemens, but at least he makes a tackle here and there. And the other guy, McGregor, no, but he's right. I do like the Taylor guy, but. I don't know. It's just such a shipwreck. I mean, I know we keep saying, why do we worry that season's over? But it's just the point. I mean, it's just like I said, it beats into you every week. You sit here, and then you got to take abuse from other friends of mine. They laugh at me, and when you gonna change teams? I said, yeah, I've been a fan for how many years? I can't even count. I can just turn the switch off now and let me root for the Lions now. No, that'll never happen till the day I die. But I just want to say I feel for you, Pete. I hear the way you sound. You sound like you're so beat up. But I give you credit and keep doing what you're doing, my man. And keep up.
Yeah, I'm good. It's just
I
there's
know.
always something to talk about, but it's
I
just going to
know.
be the off season's going to be better than this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
just
ain't that our Super Bowl is what?
it's
Usually the
dreadful.
draft. The draft is our Super Bowl. That's a sin.
Yeah, and fans were killing me for not picking them to win the division.
Well,
Like, look,
yeah, but
until Buffalo loses the division, even
well,
next year, they're
there's
the favorite.
I don't want to mention a name, but there's a guy that comes on the show here, and he runs the show a lot, and I appreciate his knowledge of the Jets, but he thinks he knows everything, and he comes on the radio yesterday after the Jets lost, and he's laughing. I'm sorry, me and you must be different. It's to me, it's not a laughing thing. Like to come on the
Wait,
show.
he comes on this space.
Yeah, I don't want to mention names because he might.
Yeah, just let's just he's whoever it is. I don't know who you're
No,
talking
no,
about,
no,
but
no. Yes, no, no.
he's
Maybe,
not he's
maybe
not
off
here.
the
So
air,
let's
try. Maybe because it bothers me. But I know I become real friendly with you from meeting you at the things. I consider you like myself a diehard, and maybe off the air we could talk with you. But it just comes on the show after like at halftime yesterday and after the game, and oh yeah, let's bring Aaron Rodgers back. Let's bring this guy back. Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Well, I don't know about the half. Let's not talk about the halftime shows and all that, Mike. We're
yeah,
good.
yeah. All
So,
right, okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, but
Mike, how bad was it to watch on TV?
it's brutal. It's brutal. I mean, come on. How much can we? It just it's the same thing. Yes, it's the same. It's the same show. Every we know what we're getting into. I mean, come on. I don't know. The only good news that's waking up this morning is the Mets signed Sean Manaea, so that's a little
Yeah.
up
Now they
today.
need to bring back Pete and add a few more.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. But well, all I could say is keep your head up, my man. We got the off season.
I'm good, brother.
Who
Mike,
do you want? Who do
thanks.
you want for the head coach anyway? Real quick,
Probably Vrabel,
that's what I
but
want. Yeah,
if they think out of the box,
right. I don't want. I don't. I mean, I'm a diehard fan with uh, Aaron Glenn, but I don't think we need no more first time on the job.
yeah, I'd like an offensive guy,
Yeah,
but the problem is if it's a first time, I just, you know, I don't even know what to say, Mike. It's just yes, it's a disaster here.
right. Yeah.
It's dreadful, man.
I don't. It hasn't been this worse in years. I mean, you can. The funny thing about it, you could say, is that when does it get better? But it just seems that with this team, it's just you could just keep going lower and lower. I mean, when does it end?
I think they should have signed Vrabel already
Right.
and
I
stopped the
don't think they
BS and the
can.
search and all that.
I don't think they can
Why
because
not?
he's a consultant.
They can work that out. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to be ready to go before the other teams, jump in. Shit. It was funny, Pete. We didn't go to the game. Out of 8 of us, one guy went. They had all the signs on the seats. Seats are available. That they got right. You know. Trying to make the money right away. That's
Yeah,
all.
I saw that too. A couple of these seats, these seats could be yours.
Yeah, yeah. Man.
Neek, you came up. Good
Good
morning.
morning. How are you?
Uh, I'm still like coming out of like Han Solo yesterday in Star Wars in the ice box, whatever they carbon freeze. That's how cold it was.
Well,
But go
I
ahead.
gotta say, salute to you for going to that game.
Thanks. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's all I
including,
know. That's it.
but the only thing I was really trying to figure out, keep it real short. I mean, we already know the obvious. I'm not trying to tank, so that's just not my thing. I always root for them to win, even if we lose. But I was trying to figure out who was he arguing with or going back and forth with on the sideline. Was that McVay or was that an assistant coach?
Neek, you talking?
Yeah, you hear me? You hear me?
I hear you.
I hear you.
I was saying who was Rogers going back?
Rogers.
Was that McVay or
Sorry.
was that a assistant coach?
Think we lost Petey.
Okay, because you couldn't really tell watching on TV. They just showed the back of the person.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either.
It seemed heated yet because he didn't look mad, but it was back and forth.
I'm surprised they went this long without it hitting the head, without anything coming to a head. You know what I mean? It
Okay,
took quite a while.
and I think
Good morning.
you was right about Ulbrich. I think that was the franchise trying to tank when they put him in. Because couldn't they have
Oh,
gotten
yes,
Middleton?
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah, the Ulbrich is just. There's nothing else to say.
They
And
could
I
have put
usually have a
Middleton.
lot of stuff to say about the Jets. Ulbrich is brutal. He's brutal. He's a nice guy, but his in-game decisions are brutal.
He's horrible.
Yeah, he might want to take a season or two off.
That's why when people just call for assistant coaches for new jobs, not you guys, but just in the NFL thought in general, right? It's like this motherfucker might not know what he's doing. Be
But
careful.
but
Not him, but like in general.
office, this was a unique situation because Salah was so bad too. The both of them were in the same boat.
Yeah, but just when you think it couldn't get worse,
It got worse.
it got 10 times worse with Ulbrich.
Yeah, it did.
And you guys weren't exactly expecting that either, from what I recall, right? It
No,
gave you a little bit of hope,
No,
and then it just went right down.
Office, just think, and even though it's so far away, the Jets were 2-3, and the Bills were 3-2. They were one. If they would have beat the Bills, and they both were tied in the fourth quarter, the Jets would have been in first place, which is wild.
I
I
think that
mean,
Yeah,
true.
because you guys even hung on to second place for a little while, despite a few losses after that, too, if I recall. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, because Miami lost to it for a while.
Albrecht's probably gonna have to go back to being linebacker coach after this.
I was thinking the same thing.
I think that's about the only thing he can coach a position.
Yeah, guys,
it's
I usually do this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna take time off, man. I I'm I'll be on other spaces. It's just this is brutal, man. There's just this team is just brutal, man. This is the worst
You,
season going to games.
you deserve a break, Petey. You're a soldier, brother. You've been a fucking soldier all season with these guys and running this space, man. You deserve a breath of fresh air, brother. I think I respect that a lot about you, man.
Yeah,
You're a
I
warrior,
hope you
brother.
guys have a great holiday, Merry Christmas, or whatever holiday you celebrate. Appreciate
Same
you
to
guys. I maybe tomorrow I'll do something, but definitely not Wednesday. But appreciate all you guys, and hold on, let me bring up this guy real quick. Potato, what's up? You want to talk? If not, I'm closing. Yo. Yo.
Tato, you there, bro? We're late. I'm not sure what is it. Person.
Yo, what's going on, Pete? Yo, Pete, we need a new fucking quarterback, man.
Oh,
This
yo,
guy,
this is the cartel. What up?
yeah, what's going on, Pete? Yo, this guy's about to turn 50 fucking years old, bro. We need a new quarterback. Break this whole shit up. We need a new GM, Pete. What the fuck is going on here, man?
No idea, bro. Good to hear you, man. Appreciate you. I know you're always in here shouting me out. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
And I
good to hear you too,
appreciate,
Pete.
yeah, I appreciate you guys, going on YouTube, whatever the case may be. It's, you know, it's just, I'm going to talk Mets somewhere else. Maybe I'll go in Joe's space, but have a great day, guys. Be well. Sorry if you wanted to talk, hit me up. Appreciate you guys. Good day.
Love you, PD, man. Be good.
Same, man.
Take care,
Thanks.
Pete.
All right.